Welcome to PicklePatter, the deep dive into all things pickleball humor.
All things pickleball humor.
And I'm Mark, your host.
Ooh.
And I'm about as coordinated on the court as a newborn giraffe.
Oh my.
But hey, at least I can laugh at myself, which is why we're here today.
That's the right attitude to have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And joining me is Raven,
Hi.
providing the analytical, slightly less clumsy perspective.
Well, thank you for that.
Think of Raven as the dink to my smash.
Ooh. I like that.
A little more finesse,
Okay.
a little less power.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
All right, Raven, are you ready to unpack this treasure trove of pickleball jokes that our listener has sent us?
I'm always fascinated by how humor reflects the culture of a sport.
Well, you know me. I'm a sucker for a good pun.
All right, let's hear it.
So how about this one to get us started?
Okay.
I asked my partner what they call an easy shot in pickleball.
Uh-huh.
They said, a dill-lightful opportunity.
Oh my God.
Dill-lightful opportunity.
Okay.
See what I did there?
Yeah. I see what you did there. It's certainly punny.
It is punny.
What I find interesting is how this joke immediately signals to other pickleball players that you're in the know. It's like a secret handshake instantly establishing a connection through shared humor.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
So how about this one?
Hit me.
Why did the pickleball player bring a ladder to the court?
Why?
Because they heard the competition was on another level.
Oh my goodness.
Another level.
The classic dad joke of the pickleball world.
Oh, come on.
It's so cheesy. It's almost endearing.
It's a good joke.
And again, it relies on that shared understanding of pickleball terminology.
Shared understanding.
Yes.
Okay, like it.
Yeah.
All right, your turn to serve up a joke.
Okay, let's see.
Raven.
Why don't tennis players make good pickleball players?
Why?
Too many love affairs. And they're still in denial about the kitchen.
Ooh, a little bit of friendly fire there.
Had to do it.
I like it.
Just a little jab.
It's funny because it plays on the stereotypes of both sports. Tennis being seen as more serious and pickleball embracing the more social, less intense aspects.
Exactly. And it highlights that crucial difference between the two sports, the kitchen or non-volley zone, which is a key element of pickleball strategy.
All right, back to me. Playing pickleball with my ex was interesting.
Oh.
We both stayed out of the kitchen, but somehow still got served.
Oh, my man. Ouch.
Yeah, that one's a bit more relatable, perhaps a little too relatable for some.
Yeah.
It taps into the emotional side of pickleball, how the game can sometimes mirror real-life relationships, for better or for worse.
That's what makes it so funny, though, right? It's that unexpected connection between a lighthearted game and deeper emotions.
Absolutely. Humor often thrives on that juxtaposition.
All right, how about this one?
Okay.
How many pickleball players does it take to change a light bulb?
Ooh, how many?
One, but they'll blame their partner when the bulb shatters.
Ooh,
Classic. It's a good-natured jab at that competitive spirit that can sometimes emerge on the court, even in a game as seemingly casual as pickleball.
Absolutely. And speaking of that competitive spirit,
Oh.
here's one that's a bit darker.
Okay.
They told me to stop aiming for people's faces.
Ooh.
But how else will I get them to take me seriously?
Oh, my goodness.
Maybe not one to use on the court,
Probably not.
but definitely got a chuckle out of me.
Yeah. Bit of dark humor there.
Yeah.
But it does raise an interesting point about the fine line between friendly competition and taking things too far.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that sportsmanship and respect should always be paramount, even when we're trying to be funny.
Okay, back to something a little later.
All right,
This one resonates with my pickleball-obsessed soul.
let's hear it.
You know, you're addicted to pickleball when you hear kitchen and start thinking about footfalls instead of food.
Oh, yeah.
Is that just me, or can you relate?
I think anyone who's caught the pickleball bug can relate to that. It's a testament to how the game can take over your thoughts even when you're not on the court.
Yeah.
It becomes part of your identity, your language, your humor.
Speaking of pickleball lingo infiltrating our lives,
Yeah.
how about this?
Yeah.
My partner always says, stay out of the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
Well, if I could cook, I wouldn't need this hobby.
That's a good one.
I can just imagine someone muttering that under their breath during a game.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right.
It's a great example of how pickleball humor often plays on the everyday situations we find ourselves in, using the game's terminology to create relatable and often self-deprecating jokes.
Okay, ready for another round?
Hit me with it.
All right. All right, Mark, let's see what else we have in this comedic pickle jar.
Hit me with your best shot, Raven.
You know you're in trouble when your pickleball opponent brings a jar of pickles to the game. They're ready to relish every point. Okay, I have to admit, that one's pretty clever. It's got layers. just like a good pickleball strategy.
Speaking
Speaking of strategy, how about this one? I tried to flirt on the pickleball court, but all they said was, "You're out of bounds." Ouch. That's gotta hurt.
rejection on the court. It adds a whole new level of complexity to the game, doesn't it?
Okay.
But hey, at least their focus was on the game, right?
Your turn, Raven.
I love playing pickleball because it's the only place my partner and I can argue about staying out of the kitchen without involving a counselor.
So true.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it highlights that sometimes the tension in pickleball can mirror the dynamics we experience in other areas of our lives, like relationships. It's almost therapeutic in a way.
Right. It's like a safe space to work out those communication kinks, all while getting some exercise.
All right, ready for another one?
Hit me.
They say couples who play pickleball together stay together. Unless someone misses an easy shot, then it's court-ordered separation. I've definitely witnessed a few of those court-ordered separations in my time.
It's a delicate balance, isn't it? Maintaining that competitive spirit while also remembering that it's just a game and that your relationship is more important than winning or losing.
All right, here's one that's a little out there. They say you should always keep your paddle up, but I tried that during dinner and now my partner says I'm banned from eating with family.
That's hilarious. It speaks to that obsessive pickleball mindset that many of us can relate to. When the game starts to seep into every aspect of your life, that's when you know you've truly been bitten by the pickleball bug.
Okay, Raven, your turn to serve up a joke.
What's the difference between a good pickleball player and a great one? One says, oops, and the other says, it's part of my strategy.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm definitely guilty of overusing the "it's part of my strategy" excuse.
We've all been there, Mark. It's that pickleball ego trying to protect itself.
Speaking of ego, here's one that's a little self-deprecating. My pickleball strategy is simple. Hit the ball, hope for the best, and blame the wind when things go wrong.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta go with the flow, right? And if the wind happens to be conveniently blowing in the wrong direction, well, that's just part of the game.
Exactly. You got to embrace those unpredictable elements.
Okay, here's one that pokes fun at the popularity of pickleball. People say pickleball is the fastest growing sport. Maybe it's because we keep recruit of all the people who couldn't handle tennis.
Yeah. Steve, I'm talking about you.
Ooh, shots fired at Steve. But, there's a grain of truth in that joke. Pickleball is incredibly accessible, which is part of its appeal. It's a sport that welcomes players of all ages and skill levels.
And that inclusivity is reflected in the humor as well. There's a sense of camaraderie, of poking fun at ourselves and each other that creates a really positive and welcoming atmosphere. Absolutely. It's all about having fun and not taking things too seriously. Which brings me to this gem. Pickleball tournaments are great. Everyone gets to pretend they're a professional athlete for at least 5 minutes.
I love that. It's like we all get to relive our childhood dreams, even if it's just for a fleeting moment.
Okay, Raven, how about you share one more before we move on?
I told my therapist I'm dealing with pickleball stress. She said it's just a game. Clearly, she's never been stuck in the kitchen with a partner who keeps volleying into the net.
Oh man, I feel that one in my soul. The kitchen can be a pressure cooker. You've got the non-volley zone, the strategic positioning, the potential for foot faults. It's enough to make anyone sweat.
It's true. And sometimes those intense moments in the kitchen lead to some of the best pickleball jokes. It's a way of releasing that tension, of finding humor in the midst of chaos.
All right, Raven, how about we shift gears a bit and explore some of the shorter, snappier jokes in our listeners' collection? The one-liners that perfectly capture the essence of pickleball?
Sounds good to me. Fire away, Mark.
So, Raven, what are some of those pickleball zingers?
Okay, here's one that's short, sweet, and oh so true.
All right.
My partner always says, stay out of the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I could cook, I wouldn't need this hobby.
It's so true.
Right.
It's amazing how pickleball terms can take on a whole new meaning in our everyday lives. You know what I mean? You start to see the world through pickleball-colored glasses.
Absolutely. Here's another one that captures that pickleball-centric perspective.
Okay.
It's called pickleball because at some point you're going to be in a real pickle when the opponent starts smashing.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's so true. It's that element of surprise, that sudden shift in momentum that makes pickleball so exciting and sometimes so frustrating.
Exactly. Speaking of frustration, here's one that I think a lot of us can relate to.
Okay.
Some people play pickleball for exercise.
Uh-huh.
I play it for the drama.
Ooh, the drama.
Right.
It's like a soap opera playing out on the court.
It is.
The rivalries, the triumphs, the defeats.
Yeah.
It's all part of the pickleball experience.
All right, Mark, are you ready to venture into the dark side of pickleball humor?
Ooh. I'm always up for a little bit of darkness.
Okay.
Bring it on.
They told me to stop aiming for people's faces. But how else will I get them to take me seriously?
Okay, that one's a little intense, even for me.
Yeah, a little dark.
But I guess it speaks to that underlying desire to be respected, to be seen as a worthy opponent, even if our methods are a bit questionable.
Right. Even in a fun, lighthearted game like pickleball, there's still the element of ego of wanting to prove ourselves.
For sure. For sure. But hey, as long as we're not actually aiming for anyone's face, I think we can all appreciate the humor in that one. All right, Raven, let's wrap things up with a final joke that sums up the beauty and the absurdity of pickleball.
Okay, how about this one?
Okay.
Recording a pickleball podcast is great. It's the only place where dinking around is literally part of the job description.
I love it. It's perfect.
Right.
A meta joke that acknowledges the inherent silliness of our deep dive into pickleball humor.
Exactly. And it reminds us that at the end of the day, pickleball is all about having fun.
So to all our fellow pickleballers out there, keep those jokes coming, keep dinking, and keep laughing. We'll see you next time on PicklePatter.
Until then, stay out of the kitchen, unless, of course, you're making snacks.